Yes guys, what's going on? It's Mex and welcome back to the channel. Today is going to be episode 1 of what I hope is a really cool series of videos that I want to do. So I'm in my 300ZX in my unit. It's very dusty, and I think it's a great place for me to start this new series of things. I want to call it, previously I've used the term Mex On Cars. I think one of my old Instagrams called that before I changed to Parts by Mex. So if you need any parts by Mex. Anyway, but Mex On Cars, I think I want it to be a series, like a playlist, a few episodes of me going and checking out some cars that are really interesting cars from interesting people, cars with a really cool backstory, something, you know, to really get into. My background, I'd like it to be a modified car or something that's had, you know, been tinkered with, something that's had special things done to it, special car, or there's a reason why. So to start with today, episode 1 of Mex On Cars is Mex on my 300ZX. So let's go. Yes guys, I'm Mex, this is my 300ZX. Welcome to episode 1 of Mex On Cars. So the story behind me and the 300ZX goes back all the way to when I was a kid in Mexico. Early 80s, yeah, I know, I'm old, right? In Mexico there was no supercars, there was no I mean, there was luxury cars, there was whatever, but there was no European cars, let's put it that way. There was no BMWs, there was no like Ferraris, Lamborghinis. There was none of that in Mexico. I remember there would be Corvettes. There's quite a few. Obviously, there's loads of American cars in Mexico, and obviously Japanese cars. Now, if you was a real bad man, you'd have a 300ZX. That's what it really stuck to my mind. There was quite a few Corvettes of like quite, you know, the cool guys, or, you know, guys with a bit of money and stuff treat themselves to Corvette. But the real G's had Tiger Top 300ZX twin turbos. Obviously we know mine's not a twin turbo, but we'll get onto that, you know, another day or later on down the story. Anyway, so when I was a kid, I remember like where I grew up, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't bad of a place, to be honest. I'm not going to pretend it was a nice place. So my neighbors, you know, good people, do all right in their jobs and so on. I remember walking by one of the houses. Obviously Mexico, everything's gated, big gates, you know, gated, you know, area, blah blah blah. Anyway, it's a nice area that I'm at. I'm walking down, I can't remember with who, or maybe with some friends when I was a kid. I remember looking through the slats, like slanted slats on a gate. So if you looked front on, you couldn't see anything because they were slanted. You looked at an angle, you see. So you walk past and you look back to it. And I remember this guy had a black E30 BMW. Now that was the shit, an E30 BMW. I'm not going to tell you what spec it is. I can't remember. I just remember it being an E30 BMW. Well, a BMW. So back then it was fucking E30, glossy black, fucking amazing. Anyway, I remember seeing the guy. I knew who the guy was. It was a few doors down, a couple of roads down, whatever. And I remember at some point seeing him driving a navy blue, pretty sure it's navy blue, 300ZX. And to me, that was it. The guy was the coolest. He had a BMW 300ZX. Like, the guy was winning at life. 300ZX just looked so cool, so sleek, sounded so good. I was like, I'm gonna have one of those at some point. As a kid, you know, that was like the shit. 300ZX was like the dream. So I mean, obviously I still had the Countach on the, you know, poster on the wall, and I still wanted a Testarossa because I used to remember watching, you know, Don Johnson, Miami Vice on TV.
Can you feel it coming in the air tonight? Oh Lord, oh Lord.
You like, you know, Knight Rider and Kit were the shit, but you know, I never thought I want a Kit Knight Rider. That's not the vibe. You know, it was always about Magnum PI 308, but really it was Testarossa that like I wanted in white. But a 300ZX was also like a car that I wanted, but you know, one that felt real because I'd seen it, got up close to it, heard it, felt it was Testarossa, saw it on the TV. Anyway, so Grew up, come to England.
Good morning, my neighbors! Hey, fuck you! Yes! Yes! Fuck you too!
I was like 12, life, and so on. Bunch of cars I had, so obviously you learn to drive out of Polo, Club Polo, big up. I had 2 Polos actually. I had a Polo SE and then a Polo 16 valve, and then I had a couple of cars in between, a couple of Mark II, so I had a clean Mark II Jetta and so on. So I love that Mark II Jetta. It was clean, it was white, one owner from new, it was sick, but a lorry hit me and knocked me off the road anyway. Then I got an E36. I know I had a couple of Mark IIIs, Vento, especially some Mark III Jettas, and then I'd have got an E36, which is what I think most people would know me of. The E36 10 years ago. I did a lot to that E36. There wasn't anything off the shelf to go low. There was coils, but they wouldn't go low. There was no top mounts. There was no nothing. So everything was off the shelf now. None of that. So I had to make do, you know. Originally, I had to chop and change. So I put Evo top mounts, but if you flip them, they give you a bit of camber and a bit of caster. The coils, obviously, you take this helper springs out, adjust it, then where it bolts on at the bottom of the strut onto the hub, you chop that off and weld it like an inch higher up, so it gives you an inch more lower. And even then, it wasn't that. I mean, it was low, but you know, there was room for bigger and better. Built, I have 3 spokes. Then I had Star 32s, so many sets of Star 32s, and then obviously the RSs, my RSs that have been on so many other cars. Oh yeah, I had an A4 just before the E36, and A4 I ran the RSs also on that. Ran the RSs on my Vento anyway. BBS RSs 17s, 9.5, 10.5. I built them too on the E36. Fitted great. And I got Broadways. So Jay's from Broadway Static, first 5 sets ever in the world. One was mine. It came to me, went to VW days, and it was sick. Just before buying the E36, I did think about a 300 ZX, but you know, it was my only car at that time. So, and you know, JDM's E36, Z32 300 ZXs, they had issues. People say it got issues, hard to work on. JDM cars aren't reliable, so I said, okay, I'll get an E36. So the E36 was sick. I sold it. Bought Mark IV Golf because I wanted a bit of a break from cars. But then a year and a half later, I bought a Mark II Jetta. So if you know Mark IIs, to get, you got to do a few bits and bobs to get a Dallo. So I was stuck in rim all around on 17-inch Venoms, painted it beige. Throwback to like old school F6 beige from James's. Mark II. So yeah, that was that. And then towards the end of life with the Mark II Jetta, I still had my Mark IV. Mark IV was just my daily, which allowed me to be like extra retarded on the fucking cars. So that's why the Mark II Jetta like was so low and almost undrivable. But yeah, so I was like, yeah, okay, it's time for 300 ZX. So I started hunting for 300 ZX, found a few. It's crazy how many people let me down. I put deposits, I had to fight to get deposits back, but people just sold them to somebody else. It was mad. Like, I'd never experienced anything like that. 300 ZX owners, like 4.5, 5 years ago, were something else. I think there's a little bit of that still, at least in England. Anyway, found one in Exeter. Didn't want to miss it. It was low mileage, super clean, silver. I hate silver cars, but you know, I knew it was never going to stay silver because I'd been speaking to Alex at Vivid Vinyl, so I knew the car was going to get wrapped. It was just deciding on the color. So that was Saturday night. Sunday morning, booked a flight to Exeter from London City Airport. Boom, flew down. Guys picked me up, met me at the airport, looked over the car at night on the lights of the car park, whatever, everything seemed cushy. Gave him some, transferred some money. I think that I didn't bring the cash, I just wired it to them. Boom, drove back to London, work Monday morning, done. So that was the start. Straight away I started looking into coilover, suspension. I bought some cheap £300 eBay coils, you know, getting it down. Bought some wheels just to start understanding offset, so 8.5, 9.5 of some Lexus IS 200 18s. Start understanding tire sizes, wheel sizes, offsets, what it can do. Bought an arch roller, because all my life I've always borrowed arch rollers or used the, you know, the pole arch wheel roll or the magazine roll. But anyway, this time I wanted it to be nice. I bought an arch roller, rolled the arches, drove out to Vivid Vinyl, where we wrapped the car, or he wrapped the car. I just dropped it off. I had no need for it, and I was going on holiday, so I left it with him for like 5 months. And this color that we picked, obviously you guys know it's this purple, but it was, you know, a purple. I must find out the color. I'll find out and I'll put it on here somewhere. I don't actually know who it's by or what the name is, but it's super glossy, super metallic, really cool. He sent me a photo of it saying, look, this isn't the preview of next year's, but I can get access to it if you want your car in that color. I wanted the car to be like a JDM color, you know, something that just shouts out JDM, because it is a JDM car. It's not a UK car, it's a JDM right-hand drive original. So I wanted something that shouted JDM, and I think metallic gloss purple shouts JDM, but it's not, but it's dark enough purple to look cool, I think, rather than too light. Anyway, dropped it off. In the process, found a few cars that were breaking, so I bought loads of spares, front lights, rear lights, and you know, loads of stuff. One guy had Nismo tinted corners, which I still haven't fitted, in the toolbox over there somewhere, still undrilled, brand new. Same guy also had a Stillen lip, and it was around the corner from my friend Latham's house, so in Essex. I was like, yo Lath, go around, get a bumper, whatever. So got a Stillen lip on this, wrapped from day one. Skirts that I bought off eBay, a bit, I liked them then, but they were too aggressive, so I've cut them down now. But I've got, again, some replacement skirts up there I'm gonna do for next year. But yeah, my 300 ZX, naturally aspirated, manual with very low mileage, great condition interior. I love my car. I love my 300 ZX. So yeah, I've got 3-piece rotiform, TMBs, hidden hardware, face mounted, 9.5s, 10.5s. I've really liked, I love splits. I tried Joey's RSS, and although it looks amazing on RSS, I think it's the first car I'm not gonna ever run RSS on. Every single other one of my cars I've run RSS. My Mark 2s, my Mark 3s, my E36, my Audi. So I think it's time to not run RSS on a car. I love, big fan of rotiform guys, know them from back in the day, so always good to support. Jay hooked me up with a great price on these TMBs. They've been refurbed, well, split and rebuilt by me. I had the faces done in gloss white and the lips polished, although now they really need a repolish because it's just been sitting here at my unit getting dusty. So that's the story of my 300 ZX. You know, since a kid that was the one, and you know, who doesn't love Targa tops? Come on, Targa tops are so summer, such a vibe. I love a Targa top. 300 ZX from a childhood dream, you know. Anyway guys, thank you for watching. Next one will be episode 2 with somebody else. I just wanted to introduce this new series that I'm thinking about doing, and I think it'd be a good idea. I love a backstory to a car. Anyway, from me and from the 300 ZX. See you in a bit. Bye.